Hello. Hello. How are you?
Hello.
Hi,
I'm
how are
good. How
you?
are you?
I'm doing
Good,
good. I'm
good.
doing good. I'm doing good. So how's your week
It's been
been?
another week. You know what? It hadn't been too bad. Personally, it hasn't been bad.
Mhm.
Now, as far as my clients go, they may have a different take on things, but it hasn't
Mhm.
been bad. I've gotten a chance to kind of talk to some people, do a little bit of networking, help some clients this week, and so it went well. How about you?
Same here. I've been under the weather, so I'm just now beginning to feel better. Actually,
Okay,
yesterday I started better yesterday, and
okay.
I went out of town early part of the week. So I mean, yeah, things are a little bit no, a little bit slow this week, slower than I normally, roll, but it's been good for the most
Okay,
part.
good. I was gonna ask you if you were feeling better.
I'm feeling much better.
I'm glad to hear that. I really am.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
am too. I'm glad. I don't like being sick. I start acting like a big old baby when I'm sick. So
It's all right. We all kind of, kind of resort back to that. We just want somebody to take care of us. So I get it.
most
You
definitely.
deserve it though.
Yeah,
Hmm.
thank you. Thank you.
So, yes.
So today we're gonna switch it up a little bit. We're still gonna talk about money, but we're gonna talk about some different topics are the new that's been in the news this week. So which
Yeah.
I found quite interesting. So money in the news.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's been a lot of big things going on, especially today with the Dow dropping almost 300 points. So
Yes, the Dow has been doing a lot of dropping this week, and I do
yeah,
mean a lot.
yeah,
So
and this
I
is
hope, I think this will be good, just for us to reflect on what's in the news and how does that
mhm,
how does that affect your money? The good thing is we're all about solutions. So we're not just going to dwell on what may look a little negative. We're going to come up with some good counters that we can use where everybody, can protect their money and everything that they work hard for. So, sis, let me ask you. So,
mhm.
what's one thing that you saw in the news this week? Oh, you know what? I just realized
Mhm,
something real quick. You know
mhm,
what? We didn't even
mhm.
say the name of the show this week. So, look, first
Money
of
in the
all, we want
news.
to welcome.
Oh yes, hi everybody. I'm so sorry. We
Yeah.
jumped the gun,
Well,
didn't we?
we didn't even get to welcome our people to the show to our
Welcome.
Let's Chit Chat about money. So,
Yeah,
welcome, y'all. Look, we were about to get into stuff by ourselves, and I almost forgot about y'all. So,
sorry
look,
about
hey
that.
there. And okay.
Hi.
Look, I just want to do that part real quick. So, what you find in the news this week? What's some things that
So,
was on your mind, or what?
well, the one thing is the Dow dropping today 300 points for the third quarter, and
Mhm.
that's gonna hurt a lot of people. That's hurting a lot of people, and so that was one
It
of the
is.
things that I thought was very interesting. And then you
Okay.
still have our inflation that's going on. It's at 0.6%.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just a lot of different things that's going on in the news this week. That's been like just
Mhm. And
kind of glint.
I'm actually going back and looking because I know you follow, like you may follow the Dow some. A lot of times I follow the S&P 500, and people may not know the difference, but regardless, it's the economy and it's your money. But
Yes,
just to
exactly.
see how many points that it dropped this week, I'm looking now, and the S&P has dropped over 1,100 points. Actually,
Oh wow.
1,100,
Mhm.
11,117. So
Ooh.
over 1,000 points. So
Mm.
imagine what that really means when you have this big, huge stock market and it's doing down almost only on a day where you lose 20 points on the stock market, you lost some
Mm-hmm.
money, let alone 100 or more than that. But we are talking about over 1,000 points in a week. And I did have someone today. I was on the phone when she checked her 401k. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
she had a fit. Her 401k was down 31% this
Mm.
week.
Wow.
31%. And I mean, I heard the panic in her voice. I heard the sadness. I also heard the madness in her voice. And she was
Right.
like, what do I need to do? And I'm like, honestly, I'm not here to tell you what to do. But if it was me, I would go pull my money. I would take my money. And I mean, of course, that's up to people what they want to do. But whether people realize it, the same signs are flashing from
Mm-hmm.
2008 when we had that huge .com bubble. The same
Yeah.
signs are flashing. Matter of fact, they're saying the same things. Get ready. I have seen posts that's telling me this crash that's coming up this winter is going to be one of the worst crashes, if not the worst crash ever. Worse than 2008. Can you imagine
Mm.
that?
It's terrible.
So,
That's
yeah,
that's
yeah.
terrible. You know, and
So
then
the question is,
go ahead.
oh, go ahead.
No, I was
Go
gonna
ahead,
say,
sis. You can start.
when you talk about the 401k and its decline and how people are losing so much money, and then when you talk to a person and you tell them a little bit about what we do and how we can help them, a lot of times I find people to be, fearful or like, well, because they've never heard of it before. So the opposition is like, well, I don't know, even though you know your money, you're losing money now, but you're too afraid to move it to somewhere that you know that it's safe. So how do
Yeah.
you handle something like that? Yeah, because I find that as an issue a lot of times when you're trying to, you know, educate people on where their money is, how they're losing money, and put it in a safer vehicle, so they can grow their money. But you find a lot of times people are fearful to, because it's the unknown, I guess, more than anything. People don't are afraid because they never
They
heard of
are.
it before.
They are. But the thing is, people have to realize we only share the solutions that the wealthiest 1% of the world uses. So think about that. Only 1% of the world even knows about, uses, or have access to what we suggest. Now, one thing we do have to work on is clearing our mind because honestly, we have been conditioned. We have been conditioned to put our money somewhere that's risky. We have been told umpteen times, no risk, no reward. I'm here to tell you, as far as this goes, that is lies, straight up lies. The thing is, these wealthy people that are out here, they're not, they're not upset. They're not losing money. I mean, honestly, they are in a position where, okay, if the economy crashes, my money is good. And matter of fact, I am on the counter. I'm ready for a recession because when all these people lose all this money, when they lose their money, when they possibly lose their housing, because if you don't have money, people could lose their homes. They are
Mhm.
there and ready. Their money is good. They're ready to swoop in and get all of those, be able to buy up some things. And
Mhm.
so think about it. These wealthy people they already had the forethought to let me protect my money. Let me put it somewhere where it's safe. Let me make sure that I have no downside risk so I never lose. Also, let me make sure I have compound interest on my money so my money is growing off the grid. I don't even have to report it as income. Meanwhile, they're sitting back and they're watching us as regular people. When I say that, I mean the poor and middle class lose money. every day. And
Mm,
I mean, it's not necessarily that they're smarter than us. They have just taken the time to research and find somebody who can take care of their money and make sure that it's safe, make sure that they don't lose. So now we really have to do the same thing. You almost have to get people to wipe their minds totally clean.
yeah,
Because, like I said, we've just been conditioned to do something that does not work. So now, like I said, we are here to help you. Um, the definition of insanity, as they say, is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Many of you were there when 2008 happened and you saw that crash. I mean, that was terrible.
mhm,
We also had the crash when COVID came. A lot of people lost money again. Now, if you think about it, your money is in the same place. Here we go again. I mean, honestly, so saying that you've already seen what happens, let's try to find a way to put a nice counter in place. So, what do you think about that?
I think
Any
that's an
thoughts?
awesome. Yeah, I think that's absolutely what we should do. I think that through,
Mhm.
educating people, continuing to bring awareness to them, teach people how they can switch. Sorry, how they can, you know,
Mhm.
change from what they're used to something new, and teach them how the wealthy people
Yeah,
utilize their money. I think that would help a
right.
whole lot. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, saying that we do have a problem, for every
Mhm.
problem, there really should be a solution, like a real solution that actually takes care of this problem. So
Mhm.
when I meet with clients and they ask me, "What should I do?" Let's let's talk about some choices that you can make. First choice, which would be the simplest and the easiest, is to pull it. For some people, if they don't have a lot of money, just pull it. It's yours. Yes, you would be responsible for the taxes for it, but it's better to have something to pay taxes on, and it shouldn't be a whole lot versus nothing to pay taxes on or nothing to live off of. So, I
Right.
mean, you could always pull it. The other example that we talk to our clients about is called an annuity or a rollover. So let me ask you, sis, do you want to explain, what an annuity is, or would you like me to do that?
You
You
can
want
go
to
ahead
tell
and
the people about
you can go ahead and talk
it?
about it.
Okay, so an annuity. Now, initially, I mean, when I first came aboard, I had heard the word annuity, but really didn't know what that meant. So, an annuity is an account, it's a one time rollover that you can
Mhm.
roll any account that is directly, tied to the market, or if you have cash in general, you can roll it into an account called an annuity, and that money just gets to sit there and grow. So instead of your money being directly in the market going up and down, you're gaining, you're losing. This week, if you had your money in the market, you lost money in a significant amount every single day.
Right.
Instead of doing that, what if you could have rolled your money, put it in an account where it's literally sitting and it's safe? But at the same time, it's not just sitting, it's getting compound interest. So, in addition to that, we also get to ride the market up only.
Right.
You know how big that would be? How so many people out here, like I said, all this money they lost and they didn't have to. Their money could have been sitting somewhere nice and cushy, and it just rides the elevator of the market up when it does go up. But when it goes down, you never lose a dime. It
Mhm.
didn't, I mean, isn't that a cool concept?
Yeah, very cool. It's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. So the question is, do you want to take a chance? And, do you want to take a chance on losing the money that you do have? Or would you want to take a chance, quote unquote, on what the wealthiest 1% does? And I need people to start thinking about, if it's good enough for them, why wouldn't it be good enough for me? And just because
Right.
you don't know about something doesn't mean that it's not legitimate. You don't know
Yeah.
what you don't know until somebody tells you
Right.
something you don't know.
That's
But
true.
in addition to that, I'm gonna tell the people about something else. Right now, there is an amazing bonus on the table. We have companies who are here to reward you for saving your money. They know that tons of people have taken a hit on that money, and they are willing to give you a 10% bonus. And you don't have to
Mm.
do anything for it. All you have to do is just choose to say, hey, I want to save my money. I want to save my account. Can you help me? Someone like myself and Dr. Renee can help you roll this money over. And whenever the rollover is completed, you will get a 10% bonus. So if you have $100,000, that means that they're going to credit your account with $10,000. If you have $1 million, that means that they're going to credit your account with $100,000. That's a lot of money, y'all. And I
Free
will.
money.
You say what now?
Free money.
Free money, exactly, free money. And so we want to be able to get some of that money because I guarantee you the government got a lot of free money this week with the market going down. That money had to go somewhere. So protect your money, protect you and your family, protect what you worked hard for. Get your free money bonus of 10%. But guess what? I'm not even done talking about what else you can have. So, what if I was to tell you that also there's a promotion going on where you could have a major, what's called a major multiplier option? This has never been done in the history of financial services, y'all. I have talked to some people who have been around for years, decades, and they're like, I've never seen anything like this before. So imagine also getting a multiplier option. So let's say if you go ahead and roll your money over now with this promotion, you get the 10% bonus. Great. Now, other people who had accounts like this or annuities, as we say, you know, these people, let's just say their account got credited 10% compound interest. Well, if you were one of the people who signed up or who rolled their money over during the promotion, year one, they're going to multiply that compound interest times 2.55. Or that means you're going to get 25.5% compound interest added to your account. Isn't that crazy? Now, let me give you an idea of what that means in regular percentage. 25.5% compound interest is equivalent to 255%. So let me equate that just to round out. I'm going to round off the numbers. That means if you had $1 million that you rolled over, if you did, that means you got $100,000 bonus. And if the market did 10% compound interest, you're going to get 255% or $255,000 added to your account year one. Now, y'all don't think that that's a huge come up? That's a come up.
Yeah,
Real
it
talk.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
And
is.
I have another little party and gift for you. The fun doesn't stop there. Year two, you are going to get a similar promotion. Now, you won't get the 255%. You will actually get whatever the market does times 1.8 or whatever the market does times 180%. Like Like, isn't that bonkers? There's nowhere out here, period, that you could get that much money at one time. And y'all have heard us talk about the compound interest accounts. They also are called Index Universal Life accounts. But let me tell y'all can't even get IUL can't even get those type of gains year one and year two. The gains are amazing, but I'm telling you, this annuity and this offer where it is where it's at. And the great thing is, wealthy people tend to have both of these. They will have the compound interest accounts or the IULs, and they'll also have an annuity too. They'll have both of them. They want their money growing both ways. So hopefully that makes sense. And we just need to do something better.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So
Well,
yeah.
thank
And I meant to tell the people too, one more thing. So just so you know, the annuity is meant for what's called lifetime income. I can't tell you how many people I meet with, and they are upset. They're excited that, retirement is coming up, but retirement is scary for a lot of people. The number one thing I hear is, I didn't save enough. I wish I had started earlier. But with an account like this, you can come from behind. So, saying that this account is designed for lifetime income, that's a solution to another problem that people typically have with their money. So, imagine having something that is designed to produce income for you. So, when you get to retirement, you can just let that money sit there, mount up over the years. You never lose. You get compound interest. Yet, when you get to retirement, you can decide how much money you want to take. If you want to take 75,000, $80,000, 100,000, you can take that and just leave the rest behind so it create lifetime income or create more income for you. So I just wanted to throw that part in there too. Just another a little bit. Anything you want to say, Dr. Renee,
I was
about the rollovers of annuities?
I think the annuities are awesome. I was just reading an article about that earlier today about people are retiring, but they don't have enough money to retire on. And a lot of times they're
Mhm.
having to go back to work because once they retire and they're off for a few months or years or whatever, their expenses catches up with them and they can't afford to be retired. So they have to go back into the workforce. So I think the annuity would be a very good option, especially if you haven't been saving in the
Mhm.
past or didn't save enough, then annuity
Yeah.
would be a very good option for, especially if you
Yeah.
at retirement or heading towards retirement or already in retirement. You still can take what
Mhm.
you do have because we did talk about budgeting. Budgeting is a big part of what we talk about, and so you can take small amounts and still make it work to accomplish your goals.
Yeah, absolutely. But I want people to start thinking about too. This is the usual scenario that you see poor and middle class have. You have worked your entire life. You have traded 20, 30, 40 years on the job for somebody else, just
Mhm.
waiting for that time that you can retire. But you've had your money in these accounts where your money has gained and it has lost over the years. Some years you did pretty well, other years you took a huge hit. You get here after 30, 40 years and you're like, okay, how much money do I have? And, the number doesn't look as high as it should have been, especially saying that you have put your blood, sweat, and tears, into working a job for somebody else. Yet, when you get ready to take your money for retirement, now the government has a chance to get its hands on 25 to 43% of your money gone in
Mm,
taxes.
yeah.
Just like that. Because you're not going to get your money without the IRS getting theirs at all. So A, you didn't get to save as much as you wanted to. B, when you go to get it, the IRS is going to take their cut. And then the rest of it, you have to live off of. But think about it. You are living, most people live a discounted life at retirement. When I say discounted, don't get me wrong. Everybody's life is worth something. But I'm saying that is, if you think about it, you've worked 30, 40 years. Now you're at retirement. You always thought you would be able to see the world, have some freedoms, but now you're having to survive on way less money than you made when you were in the workforce. So the question is, can you keep up that lifestyle? You don't even have the money to match the money that you made before, let alone now you're in retirement and you want to do some things that you always dreamed of doing, whether it's traveling, seeing your grandchildren, just seeing the world, really just taking time for yourself. You can't even do that. Then, I mean, you're relying on Social Security too. Social Security is drying up. Social Security, they say by 2032, will not even be existent. There just won't be enough money. So you have that, you have all those factors, and then you have inflation in addition. So those dollars you have don't even go as far as they're supposed to. A dollar is not worth a dollar. So what are you going to do? Like, yes, sometimes the government will print money for us, and it's like, whoo, I got free money. Yet at the same time, people don't realize in printing that free money, that makes your dollar not worth the same thing. So really, we need to find a way to stop the bleed and honestly come those different issues. That is one thing that a lot of times when I meet with clients, I want to point out to you, say, even going this route, it looks decent. But when you get down the line, you didn't think about this, you didn't think about this, and you didn't think about this. And Lord knows it will smack you in the face. But at retirement is the worst time for that to happen.
Yeah.
So we just want to bring about those issues now, bring them to the forefront. We don't want you to get hit, like a ton of bricks with something that you never thought about. So let us help you put something better in place. How awesome is that for your money to be rested and you never have to worry about losing another dime again? When we give you the pamphlet, because some people will ask for the pamphlet, you'll never lose a dime. That is part of the guarantee. So isn't that cool to have guarantees on your money? Wouldn't you choose to have guarantees? I know I would.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. So anything else you want to say about that? Sometimes I can talk. So.
It's okay. No, you're good.
Okay.
Because we didn't finish our Go ahead. Huh? Go ahead. We got to finish our topics for the week. But yeah, but you brought out some very interesting points though, because the annuities, like you said, I mean the compound interest account is awesome, but the annuities are just as good too. So
yeah,
that's good.
Don't get me wrong. I'm a fan of both. Anything that's good enough for the wealthiest people in the world is good enough for me. Sign me up. Put my name on the dotted line.
Most definitely.
And so yeah. Good. So sis, what else did you see in the news this week? Did you see some other stuff in the news?
Yes, I did. So I saw where the housing market is going to switch sides. This side, it was the seller for 2022 was the seller's year, but next year, 2023, they're saying it's going to be the buyer's year. So I thought that was quite interesting. And so maybe we can start, teaching people, helping people to save in a vehicle. Well, we're going to say save. Well, they can in a vehicle that will help them have more money for down payments. And then I saw where Bank of America, I saw this a couple of weeks ago, that Bank of America is actually doing a down payment assistance program.
Mm-hmm.
But although they're going to help the homeowner, potential homeowners, to get into a home. You still have to prepare for emergencies and other
Yeah.
things that happen. The house may need a roof, and just things that are unexpected. So we still need to prepare individuals for those types of things.
Absolutely. So going back to what you said, okay, repeat the first thing that you said. What was the first thing you said you saw in the news right then?
The housing market is going to switch from the buyers.
To the sellers.
No, I'm sorry, from the sellers to the
To the
buyers. This
buyers.
year, this year was the sellers market, 2022. So
Uh-huh.
next year, 2023, is going to be the buyers market. So
Okay.
it's going to be time to buy, 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 buy. If you're an investor, buy, 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 buy. If you're a new homeowner, buy. Let's buy, because the housing market is going to drop. Where I guess it's going to be more affordable for the
Mhm.
buyer.
Yeah.
So you want to be ready when that time comes.
So let me tell you what I hear. When
Hmm.
I hear that it's switching over, because it's been a seller's market for the longest. Now
It
it's
has
switching to
been,
buyers.
yeah,
I hear there's a paradigm shift coming.
yes, most
That's what
definitely,
I hear. I
yeah.
also hear, think about it, before people, even when they wanted to buy, I know in my area, you couldn't find property to buy.
At
I
all.
I went to some of the meetings, some of the, um, I guess chamber of commerce meetings, and I
Mhm.
had people ask if you know of anyone
Me too.
anywhere anywhere in this area
Yeah,
that is selling, please let us know. We can't even find property for people to buy.
I know. Yeah.
Now they're telling you 2023 is going to be a buyer's market. Now here's the real thing that I don't know if y'all can read between these lines. Where are they going to get all these properties to buy? If before we had there was nowhere to buy, that means some people are going to be out on their tails. I don't know if
Foreclosure.
y'all realize it or
For,
not. Huh?
do you think it's going to be foreclosures? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I do. And
Okay.
let me say, because if there was nowhere to buy, where are you buying now? Like, if somebody occupied that, you can't buy it. If they don't want to give it up, you can't buy it. So where are you going to get that from?
Yeah.
Now, I will say I did go to a networking event this week with
Hmm.
some realtors, and they did bring up how, the banking, how you said like Bank of America was one of the companies that wanted to
Hmm.
help. So basically, it's zero down. Is that right?
Hmm. Zero down. Yeah.
So one of the things a realtor brought up, which I thought was very, very interesting, she was like, well, people don't think about, they're going to start you in these loans where they help you get in. It's zero interest, but it's going to balloon up. They don't realize that. So they were
Wow.
like, think about it. You get in this house, you're comfortable with the payment, but a couple of months later, it gets a little higher, and then
Yeah.
a little higher, and then a little higher. And what happens when this foreshadowed, drop in the market comes? They were like, a lot of people are going to be without jobs. A lot of people are going to be laid off. I had one lady who was there who said their job has already posted layoffs coming January 2023. They are
Wow.
scared.
Wow.
Yes. So think about that. In theory, it sounds good, but it's a perfect setup. We let you get this home that on paper, it probably might be a little challenge for you to afford. But we're going to tell you as the bank that we're going to help you. We're actually going to, in theory, if it's zero down for you, that means that the bank is essentially paying your payment down. What happens when you lose that property? If they put that down payment, your property goes back to the bank. So, in theory, they're kind of counting on some people not to be able to pay this or keep up with this loan. And a lot of people really don't read through. I've had some family members before that ended up in trouble later and couldn't keep their home because they did sign on to a balloon loan and nobody told them. They just wanted to get into the property.
Yeah.
Essentially, that's what they're giving you. They're saying, look, we're going to make it easy for you to get in here. But guess who else? Whenever that property goes back, you're going to have some investors. You're going to have those people who put their money up in these accounts that we're telling you about, who just had money growing on top of money on top of money. When you were losing, they were gaining. And if y'all don't think this bank will be ready to unload this property to someone who can really pay for it or has cash, you gotta think again. So we really do need to be stacking up. We need to be putting a nest egg. We definitely need to be putting some money up for a rainy day, as we say, because let me tell you, they have some rainy days coming. And sometimes, like I said, with some of this stuff that's in the news, you almost have to read between the lines on some things.
Yes.
Like, why would the bank just let you in a home for $0? Especially if, the economy is quote unquote, bad. Why would they do that? It's kind of a setup, y'all. So in the meantime, and she said, we're all about counters and coming up with solutions. So what if we played that same game that these wealthy people played? What if we put our money in these compound interest accounts, knowing already that 2023 is going to be a buyer's market? When you're ready to buy, you want to have money there. You want to be ready to go. And I want people to start thinking about different properties that they can buy when it becomes a buyer's market. You might want to get something for yourself, but have you thought about buying property for Airbnbs? Have you thought about buying, commercial properties? Have you thought about buying single family homes? Have you thought about ways that, okay, if I grab this property, how else, in addition to this being another asset, how else can I make money off of it? One thing that they could do too is sometimes you can make contracts. You can sell your home or lease it for government contracts. One big, huge one where people make money is Section 8. Now, there are plenty of places that don't look like Section 8, but the great thing about it is that if the government goes in with a contract with you, that means you never have to worry about whether or not your tenant is going to pay you. So you're going to have money ready. So think about us having money ready in this account, ready to go, if something happens. And then 2023 comes, it's a buyer's market. And now I'm going to get some property too. And I'm going to, I'm either going to keep my property, flip it, lease it out, Airbnb it. We really need to think about spawning different ways to make income with what we do have. So let's start saving, y'all. So the compound interest accounts they're talking about all the time, this is the place to be. Also, you don't want to just get it with anybody. You definitely want to get it with us because we only deal with A-rated companies. They're the best of the best. No one out here offers the amount of compound interest our clients get. Typically, we'll tell them that they get between 8 and 12% compound interest. But in theory, they really get between 12 and 15% compound interest. So imagine you putting your dollars up and your dollars are like busy bees. They're out here making money, even when you're sleeping, when you're tired, when you're at a baseball game, if you have children to watch, whatever the case is, your money is making money for you like, just hand over fist. And that money you don't have to report. So we really need to use these accounts to start getting ahead. Don't just let the wealthy play this game, y'all. I'm telling you, y'all can play it too, and y'all can play it even better than they ever
Right.
did. And
That's
we're
right.
here to help you with that. So yeah. So
Yeah.
anything
That's
you want to
awesome.
say, sis?
No, I agree with you. Everything you said, we need to um, start playing the games, like the wealthy do, educate ourselves more. I think it's all
Mhm.
about educating yourself, your mindset, changing your mindset from the old way of
Yeah.
thinking to being more open about um, how the wealthy, how they make their money and how they
Yeah.
invest their money. So it's so important.
Yeah.
So important.
Yeah. And we want people to know that they can do it too. A lot of these people, I read a report that I think it was 90, I think I forgotten, I think maybe 90 something percent of millionaires are self-made. So
Hmm.
they didn't have a silver spoon. Now you will have some people out here who were born for money, they're used to money, and they did have that head start. But those people who went and got it out the mud, what did they do? Like, how did they build that? Then sometimes you hear about people who win the lottery. They win the lottery in 3 to 5 years from then they're broke. Yet you see somebody who had a bunch of money before, lost it all, and then a couple months later, they're back again. They're back going again, back on track. What did they do?
Hmm.
Odds are they're
Yeah.
using these accounts that we help our
Yeah.
clients with.
And
So,
then with the real estate as well. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I thought you
mhm.
had paused. I'm sorry.
No, no, no. I did pause. I know.
Yeah,
I'm guilty of saying so. So y'all, if y'all hear me so, say that.
that's
It's a
okay. That's okay.
yeah.
That's okay. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I was gonna just say reiterate what you just said. I have a good friend. You and I had talked about. Um, I think he owns like 270 homes,
Mhm.
and in all his homes, he was a self made. He grew up here in the city, from low income housing,
Mhm.
and now he's a multimillionaire because he used the Section 8, like you said, Section 8 as
Yes.
a means to, and now he's doing wonderful. So it does
Yeah.
work. You use it if you work the system, and then he used annuities also. We talked about annuities, so it's something that he puts his
Yeah.
money in annuities. So
Nice, nice. Well, I know one day we probably should see if he could come shed some knowledge for us because I'm not
yeah.
as
Okay.
familiar with real estate. I'm just now starting to get my feet wet in that area. But let me
Mhm.
tell y'all, real estate is hot. Real estate is an asset that you can use to make money. You can use that asset to decrease your taxes, your tax liability, and it can bring you income. So imagine if you had a property that like, wow, I have this property over here that I'm living in, but yet I have, this Airbnb that's bringing me money every week. Or I copped this place, I figured it, kind of fixed it up, and now I'm renting it out for, people who might be in need,
Right.
people who might have Section 8 or need government assistance. You're still helping people, but yet at the same time you're helping yourself.
Right.
And I've heard plenty of wealthy people say, look, the best thing that you can do is
Mhm.
not be poor yourself. And
That's
it's not a
right.
selfish thing. With you being I guess with you not being poor, you're able to help more people also.
That's
So
true.
even though these things are in the news and it definitely has feels of uncertainty, just know, like I said, there are solutions out here where we can
Hmm.
get ready to capitalize on what's
Yeah,
about to come.
that's
So
true.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome. So, what do you think about before we wrap up? Just
Mhm.
quickly, what about the student loan forgiveness? I know it's a little bit a different topic, still about money. What do you think
Yeah.
about that, sis? The student loan. Well, I've been reading different conflicting stories. One story was, I guess, when they first
Mhm.
announced it, that it was certain criteria. Now they've changed it to a different criteria. I didn't go into depth about the. I didn't read about the changes. I think it was. Oh yes, I did. It was. I think it's the. Oh gosh, I can't remember which loan it is, but it's one loan that you get that they're not gonna let you forgive. I can't think of the name right up front right now. But
Mhm.
so what do you think about that anyway? Just want to get your thoughts on that.
Well, honestly, I think it should 10,000 is cool. It could be more.
Mhm.
I was, I was in school back when I was in pharmacy school when the
Mhm.
crash happened in 2008. And one
Mhm.
thing that people don't know, when the crash happened and people stopped paying their loans, they actually
Mhm.
added more to our loans. So, I mean, that wasn't fair. I
Mhm.
know people who were in the class before me, just because they happened to get in school a year before I did, and the crash
Mhm.
hit then, their school loan payments might have been $300, whereas mine was a nice mortgage payment. But that was because I got all of this extra interest tacked on to
Mhm.
mine because people stopped paying. So, I mean, $10,000, that is honestly, that's the very least you could do. But I mean, I'm all for it. I've heard some people be a little naysay about it, but those will be the people who probably didn't have my experience where I had to take up somebody else's slack for, 10, 11 years. But
Yeah.
I know one thing I do tell people
Mhm.
is, being a business owner a lot of times will put the cards back into your hands. So one thing, when I went independent and I started working for myself, one thing that I did was I got into what's called an income-based repayment program. Now,
Mhm.
the good thing about that is that they look at only your taxable income. That is another little loophole that wealthy people use, saying that, okay, if most of their income isn't taxable, if they're business owners or they've been doing, um, I don't know, if their business owners are working for themselves or being contractors, that money isn't taxable. So whenever they ask you those questions, you literally can tell them that you have zero taxable income, and that can set your payment at a really low rate or even zero. So it can look like you have a perfect payment history, and your payment could be zero, your payment could be $100. Who knows? But I like I said, I'm all about the forgiveness, and I'm all about this income-based repayment program too. What do you
Okay.
think, sis?
I think Mike just put something up for us. He says, I'm going to read it right quick. Then we're going to get out of here. But it says the Department of Education previously stated Americans who borrowed through the Federal Family Education Loan, the FFEL program, which ended in 2010 and offered loans that were federally guaranteed but managed by private banks, would be eligible for Biden's debt cancellation. Before updating the guidance Thursday to say that borrowers with federal student loans not held by the Education Department cannot obtain one time debt relief. Borrowers with federal student loans not held by the Education Department cannot obtain one time. Okay. So no longer applies to several million Americans with federal student loans owned by private companies.
Mm.
Yeah.
So
Thank
it's
you.
still not inclusive.
Yeah.
um, so yeah, honestly, my best recommendation is to become a business owner.
Yeah.
Come join us. Bury those loans. You don't have to pay. I mean, uh, I don't know. Like I said, the student loans, they say, is the one thing that you never outlive. But like I said, if you can use these legal loopholes same way that the wealthy people do, look, you're actually doing a service to yourself to keep more of your money and stay afloat
Yep.
for you and your family. That's how I
Yeah.
feel.
Yeah. I agree with
So you just take the cards that you have, and you just make sure that you put the full house down on the table. You know what I'm saying? Just make sure you
that.
win the game. That's my
That's true.
thing.
That's true. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's been
So
nice.
yeah,
It's almost time for the show to end. So
it is.
it's been interesting. It's been very interesting.
Yeah. So with all these people out here losing money, like I said, these 401ks, these IRAs, these mutual funds, even if you have a Roth, you are losing right now. If you decide you want to do something else and you do want to put your money in these same accounts that wealthy individuals have, like I said, we do have pamphlets that outline your actual guarantees. So you have hard paperwork, a hard copy pamphlet that will outline these guarantees for you. So
Mhm.
if you have someone that, someone out there is wanting to do this rollover, Dr.
Mhm.
Renee, tell the people where they can reach you.
You can reach me at 423-876-5309, or you can reach me at, let me get my number. Just 1 second. It is 855-937-6742. It's 855-937-6742. And my
Oh,
address here it is 3661 Brainerd Road, Suite 302, Chattanooga,
okay.
Tennessee. Mhm.
Awesome. Awesome.
Mhm.
Also, if you want to speak with me, of course you can always reach me at the office number. It's 1-833-837-6352. Again, that's 1-833-837-6352. You can also reach out to me on social media. I'm listed under Verneka Murphy. You should see a disclaimer on my page about how my page was previously hacked. So that's how you know you have the right page. Also, if you see a bunch of videos and or TikToks, you are on the right page. So feel free to message me, DM, anything like that. I'm here to help. Of course, you sitting down having a consultation with us does not cost you a dime whatsoever. Like I said, all it may cost you a little bit of time, but I promise you it'll be well worth it. So 1-833-837-6352 is where you can reach myself. So yeah. Well, we have gotten to the end, and look, we appreciate y'all tuning in for
Most definitely.
for this episode of Let's Chick Chat About Money. And so look, if y'all have any questions too, if you have any personal questions about your own finances, if you're questioning whether or not you should move your money or whether or not you should pull it, you can call us and consult us as well. It doesn't cost you anything at all. But please don't leave it there and lose your money, because I don't want y'all crying, y'all. It's hard for me to watch somebody crying. And I don't have any extra money to give you either. So look, the best I can offer is my help and my advice,
Yes,
but I am
free
here
help.
for you.
Mhm.
Yes. And also, please do yourself a favor. Find out what your login is to your account and check your account. See how much money you
Yes.
have. I've had a few people that I have asked them, have they lost money? I already know the answer, to be honest. But
No, I
they are
too.
scared. They
Yeah.
scared. They are scared to check it. And the thing is,
Yeah.
we really do have to face reality. Just don't bury your head in the sand, because it's not
Right.
gonna go away.
That's just like checking your bank account every
So
day, or
look,
just see what. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. What'd you say,
right,
Verneka? Yeah.
exactly. No,
Yeah.
I was saying, please just don't just leave it there and ignore it. Also, please do not go if you have a financial advisor that tells you, "Oh, the market will come back." Can't tell you how many people that tell me that. Y'all
Mhm.
look, fire him, whoever that is. That's your money. He does not care. He's gonna get paid from your account, whether your money makes money or not. And
That's right.
why would you want to take the losses, take that downward swing, and then spend, 8 to 10 years trying to climb back to where you were, when you could
Yeah.
have just put your money somewhere where it's safe. So look, if anybody is side-eye anybody that tells you the market will come back, because it may or may not. And then if it does, you don't know how long it's going to take for it to come back either. So I just want to put that little PSA out there too.
Okay.
Only because I care about y'all and I care about your money too.
That's right.
About
your money.
Yeah.
Well, it's been nice, Verneka, Dr. Verneka.
It has been. It's been good to see you. I'm glad you're feeling better.
I'm definitely feeling better. Feeling great.
Yeah. So, yeah. Well, I guess we're going to wrap it up. So, thank y'all for tuning in for this episode of Let's Chick Chat About Money. And then until next week, when we chick chat about some more money, we'll see y'all then. So thank y'all. Good morning. Have a good morning.
Good morning.